All right, welcome to the short video on business continuity planning. There are a couple of things that are the same, and a couple of things that are very different about a business continuity plan as it relates to a disaster recovery or an incident response plan. So first of all, this is going to be if a critical business function, how do you continue if a disaster occurs and you're going to have to shift locations to an alternative site. Due to the high cost associated with this is typically managed by the CEO of the company because this is going to require decisions at the absolute highest level due to the cost involved in this type of an operation. The NIST guidance, remember NIST stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology, their guidance is about the same as it was for disaster recovery. So there are not going to be differences there. Let's talk for a second about now some of the ways that you can handle the technology component associated with business continuity planning. So the first thing to think about is this idea of what technology do I need in place? And the first category is dedicated. This is where you have a dedicated site that you actually own the facility, and there are three different variances here. One of which is a hot site. This is a site that is up all the time. If you go down at your principal site, your hot site can immediately take over without any service interruption at all. Warm site, a little bit different. Here you're going to have to take some time typically to move the data or load the data within the site, but you've got all of the technology and connectivity that you need within that facility. A cold site means you own the site. You may not have any of the technology in place, but you've got a fallback position, and the intent is to rapidly stand that up for business continuity. And again, depending on the nature of what you're trying to do, depends on how many resources you want to put into place for this business continuity plan. And again, as you can look at that picture to your right there, in this particular case, a tremendous amount of expense has gone into maintaining a hot site for the President of the United States. So if something goes wrong and we need to do business continuity operations, he or she can operate from that airplane. All right, so we've talked about dedicated business continuity plan and talked about hot, warm, and cold sites, with hot site being the most expensive, actually double the production cost of running your enterprise services. A warm site, less money, but still a good chunk. And then finally a cold site, which is going to just be the bare facilities and bare setup to run. Now, instead of having a dedicated site, the other way to solve this is to have a shared site. And then, so you're sharing with several enterprises. And again, you've got a couple of different opportunities there. You have a timeshare, a service bureau, and a mutual agreement type of arrangement. So the book details each one of these, but again, you're looking at in a timeshare, you've got one facility, it can handle one disaster at a time. Multiple agencies are using it, and the idea is that only one will go down. Service bureau is where you've got someone actively managing that for you, and then mutual agreement is where you've worked out a deal. Typically, if they go down, they'll host you. If you go down, you host them. But some arrangement like that where you have this shared facility that you're using. So again, dedicated, shared. Shared is going to be less expensive than dedicated typically. And then some different types of arrangements. So this gives you a palette, if you will, of 6 possibilities for building a business continuity plan. All right, well, this concludes the last video, video 7 of 7 on contingency planning. And next lesson, we're going to be going into information security policy.